Okay, so today I will be explaining the Great Railroad Strike of 1877. The U.S. in 1877 was in the biggest economic drought that the country's ever seen. And this economic drought spread all throughout the industries and especially into the railroad. One way how this economic drought affected the railroads industry was in the Pennsylvania Railroad, where they cut wages by 10% in June and then another 10% in May, resulting in 20% out of the workers. Another railroad company that was affected by these wage cuts was the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad Company, where their wages were cut twice within the span of 8 months. Any employee that was making over $1 a day would be cut by 10% and the workers would only be able to work 2 days instead of 3 days. Eventually, a trade union would have fought against the salary and wage cuts for the workers, but the economic depression of the United States basically rendered them useless. Because of the trade unions being rendered powerless from the economic depression, on July 16th, 1877, workers for the Baltimore and Ohio Railroads in Martinsburg, West Virginia, took matters into their own hands. The workers then unhooked nearly 600 locomotives and declared that the trains will stay there until the wage cuts were repealed. Soon, a crowd started forming, showing their support for the protests of the workers. And the attention of this crowd got the attention of the police, but they weren't able to do anything because there was a massive crowd showing their support. And when the police couldn't do anything, the governor for Western Virginia, Henry M. Matthews, sent the militia to go deal with the crowd. But even the militia wasn't much help, because the militia were sympathetic to the workers because they know how they felt with the wage cuts. So the trains remained stranded until the governor asked the president, Rutherford Hayes, for help. The president responded to this call for help by sending in federal troops to go deal with it. But by sending in these troops, they caused the trains to leave the Martinsburg station in Virginia. And although this might seem like a win for the governor and the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad companies, this actually caused the situation to get much worse. With the trains being moved out of Martinsburg, Virginia, with it came the strikes. So when the trains were pushed out, the strikes came with, and the trains were pushed all the way to the Chicago stations. And there, many riots and mobs were there protesting for the wage cuts. The Pennsylvania Railroad in Pittsburgh followed the other strikes' ideas, and soon the workers took control of Pittsburgh itself. But the strike ended once the federal troops were sent in to go deal with the mess. And this was the Great Railroad Strike of 1877. Thank you guys for watching.